So today we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars The Black Series Anakin Skywalker action figure from Hasbro. Now I am really excited to open up this figure because this will be my very first Anakin Skywalker figure in my collection, and throughout the entire Black Series line from all the other Anakin figures that we have, I definitely feel like as far as sculpt and articulation, this is the best one so far. So let's go ahead and let's not waste any time and let's get right into it. So right on front, you can see it is very nice window packaging. So if you want to keep it in the box, you can. You could, of course, see the figure itself and the lightsaber. And this is, of course, the Clone Wars design of Anakin. Of course, Anakin Skywalker's name right here. And he is number 17 in the Ahsoka line. Right on the side, of course, you have that nice light blue color for Ahsoka. And then, of course, another side window. And then on the back, you get this very nice artwork piece of Anakin himself in his Clone Wars armor, and then of course a little bio here, and you can go ahead and pause the video if you want to read that. Then on the side you get a nice larger image of the image on the back, and this is to connect to the larger mural. So if you have some other figures from this line, you can go ahead and connect this to that. So a pretty nice box, and I definitely like the newer boxes that Hasbro has done for the Black Series. It makes it feel a lot more higher quality, so definitely a really nice kind of change to the boxes. And let's not waste any time and let's open this up. Real quick, before we go ahead and fully take out Anakin Skywalker, I just want to show you how he is as soon as you take him out of the packaging. His lightsaber will be taped in with some tape, and that is how it's held in. And then the figure itself has no ties and no tape, just it's stuck in the bubble. So you have to push him out of that. Then I also wanted to show you how easy it is. Hasbro has made these boxes to open. So if you can see right here, it's kind of just like a little latch, and then you just tab it in, and then you can easily open up the box. No bending, nothing at all. So definitely love that. Now let's get on to this figure. So here is everything right out of the packaging, and of course he already looks and feels amazing as far as sculpt and articulation. But before we get more into him, let's take a look at his accessory, which is of course his lightsaber. So of course it is just a standard lightsaber that you would normally get with Anakin, but of course it is Anakin's specific lightsaber, and it does actually have all the painted details that you would want. So of course that little red button is painted in, as well as the gold on the switch itself. And if you can see, the black rubber on the grip is also painted in. Now right there, you can see it does have the little peg, so you could peg it into his belt right there. And then this blade, I do believe, is removable. Yep. And then you can just have the hilt itself. And then of course the lightsaber is very nice bright blue. And then let's go ahead and take a look at this on his belt. Light little tab, and there you go. So definitely amazing right there. You can use the lightsaber and display it in any way that you want. And of course it is only one accessory for this figure, but it's really the only one you need, especially for Anakin. That's all you really need. So let's go ahead and let's unpeg this. Let's put this back into the hilt, put it to the side, and let's take a look at Anakin Skywalker. So let's start with taking a look at the sculpt, and of course it looks amazing. It definitely looks probably the best out of all of the other Anakins we've gotten in this line. The likeness to Hayden Christensen is there, and of course it's very difficult to get a perfect likeness, and I feel like other than like Hot Toys, no other brand has captured it, and this is very impressive, I feel. So definitely a great likeness. And if Hasbro definitely goes even further and tries to mimic the look from Revenge of the Sith, I think we'll have a perfect definitive Anakin figure. But this definitely looks amazing. And of course this is from Ahsoka, so this is a live action look at the Clone Wars Anakin, so it looks perfect. So looking more at the body, of course, I do believe some parts of this figure are reused to the original release of Clone Wars Anakin, but all throughout, you could see there are new paint applications. For example, like on the glove, you could see he has some silver buckles, and on the other side, some black stripes, or leather straps, you could say. So definitely there's great paint and deco everywhere. So even though some parts of this figure are reuse, it's basically like a brand new figure, and it just looks perfect. And the best thing, the biggest new thing, is of course the new implication of soft goods. So you're gonna get a lot more articulation out of this guy, and that's just great. So speaking of that, let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation. So right at the head, it can look up about, okay, not too much. You can't look up too much, about that far. That is because of the hair on the back. It does get stuck on his armor. So you can't look up too much, but you can look down a pretty good amount. He can look left about that much, and right all the way, of course, all the way around if you wanted to. So all the movement you'd want out of the head. I would have liked a little bit more upwards, but it's all right. It's still pretty good. Of course, in the arms, these little straps are on kind of a rubber rotating ring, so you can move them out of the way if you want to. And if you can see inside there, there are butterfly joints, so the arm can move in and out like that. And it can go up about that high, which is pretty good. Then, of course, you get a single jointed elbow, but it does go a little bit above 90, like a very little bit, hits right there. So that's pretty good. And then, of course, at the wrist, it does swivel, and then you get in and out. Of course, on the other side, can make a T-pose, and of course, you have your butterfly joints. And then the single jointed elbow does go even further than 90 on this one. I think that's because of the glove, of course. And then at the hand, you do get another hinge. So in and out and all the way around. Now moving on to the torso. Let's see if I could kind of see. I do believe it's a ball joint. Yeah, it does feel like a ball joint. It's just a ball joint right there. So you do get some pretty good movement. You can move him around any way you want. And because of the soft goods, they move out of the way so you could move him wherever you need. At the leg, it is kind of stiff. Can't really get any higher than that. That's kind of odd. But can't really kick out more than this. It might just be stuck, or it might be the plastic actually keeping it from going any further. So that's kind of disappointing. Wish it would have had a little more leg articulation, but that's as far as it can go about. And then you do get double hinged knees, so it can go about that much. And then at the feet, you do get a hinge to go down, up, and then of course rock the foot. Same on the other side, double hinge knee, and of course the hinged foot. So some pretty good articulation. I do wish the leg articulation was a bit better so you could get some more wider poses, but overall, it's a great figure. I mean, it's Anakin Skywalker, and that's enough for me. But there are some places where it could benefit, and hopefully the Revenge of the Sith version, whenever that does come out, hopefully it does have some new kind of tooling so you can get some more articulation. But as far as all the joints, you get everything that you need, and to get some pretty cool poses out of this guy, I think you're set. So let's go ahead and let's pose him up with some other figures that I have, and then we'll get on to my final thoughts. So here is Anakin Skywalker with, of course, Ahsoka Tano. I had to put them together because of one, the show, and two, the Clone Wars. You have to have them together, and this duo looks pretty awesome. Next up here is Anakin with, of course, a stormtrooper. And finally, here is Anakin Skywalker with Darth Vader. And just putting them together, this looks really awesome. And I'm probably going to display these figures like this in my collection because this just looks so cool. So what do I think about the Star Wars The Black Series Anakin Skywalker action figure from Hasbro? This is definitely a figure to get if you need an Anakin Skywalker. And even if you already do own an Anakin Skywalker, for example, the exact Clone Wars one from a while back, I definitely recommend still upgrading to this figure. It just looks so much better, has so much better articulation, and as of right now, I do think this is the definitive Anakin Skywalker Clone Wars version from Hasbro. So I definitely love this figure, articulation and everything. It of course could be improved in the legs, and I do think it could have a little bit more movement, but as I said, out of the entire line and out of all of the Anakins we've gotten, even the SH Figure Arts, which has kind of a weird head sculpt in my opinion, this is still probably the best Anakin we've ever gotten so far. So I can't wait to see how the Revenge of the Sith one looks whenever that's announced. And happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.